Hello, hello, hello. What's up, everybody? It's Tuesday night, so it's time to talk some karate. And you already know who's going to get down with us this week. It's our man, Andy. How goes it with you this Tuesday night?
I'm doing pretty good. Ready to talk some karate. I'm gonna say it exactly the opposite how you say it from now on. Karate. Karate. You can say it like I'll say it like Johnny, and then you say it like Daniel. All trying to be like bonsai. And then Johnny would just be like bonsai. So that's a karate.
Habla Espanol. Hey, hello.
Yeah. Oh.
Awesome. Oh man, Cobra Kai Season 2, Episode 4, The Moment of Truth. And this week opens up with Dimitri stopping by Cobra Kai, and he's happy Johnny's not there because he's a little unhinged. Little does this poor kid know. He's all talking about like laying down ground rules, and I don't know, the nerve of this kid to like be talking shit and then actually go up and touch Kreese's tattoo. I mean, didn't he pretty much have some of that coming, or was that a little overboard?
I don't think a kid ever has it coming getting hit, but you are going into a dojo. Like, that has to be somewhat expected, right? And then you just like, why you gotta be like that, man? Like, that's the eyes aren't right, and I'm like, oh my god, it's hard to justify hitting a kid and a grown man hitting a kid, but man, if they didn't do a damn good job convincing me.
He was just, this kid Dimitri, we're gonna be talking more and more about him, but he is just over the top, out of control. Oh, what's good, Jake Griffin? I see you out there, Peter Griffin. Welcome. Let's talk about some Cobra Kai. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, Jake Cruz says, if Kreese doesn't hit him, he isn't Kreese. Yep, pretty much. Pretty much. That guy's out of control. He doesn't care about kids. But then again, neither does Johnny, having him running over dumpsters full of like shards of steel and shit. Like, are you kidding me, dude? He's so lucky one of those kids don't have tetanus right now. Oh man, over to Miyagi-Do and Spiritual Low after the Valley Fest debacle. And I thought it was kind of funny that Sam got out in front, like, and asking Danielson, like, hey Dad, you want to come out back and, maybe teach us some karate? But Daniel has other plans, and again we see he's never really about the karate. It's only about beating Johnny. Like, his daughter is right there asking to be taught. The thing, like, early on in season 1, it seemed like what he wanted was to be back in the dojo with his daughter, teaching and doing karate. But no, what he originally wanted is just out the window, and now it's just all about revenge. What's up with that?
Well, that's him. Daniel's crap. I'm telling you, he's like a shit person.
Let me just sum it up real easy. Daniel's crap.
He is. He's like, he's like one of those people that, go to church and stuff and talk about how holy they are, and then are like, leave church on Sunday going drinking and whoring and stuff. Like,
That's a good comparison. I get it.
He's that dude. I don't like him.
I'm with you. We also see back at Cobra Kai that one of Danielson's needles is actually being a bigger and bigger prick and wanting rent just because Johnny has more students. I mean, what's this guy talking about? Like, how low and dirty is that? Now all of a sudden, just because he sees Johnny's making a little more money, he just gets to instantly charge more money?
Never do a handshake deal.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. And, I mean, Johnny, I don't know. Johnny, I think, should call his bluff because that one guy's already moved out because the rent was too high. So this guy might lose everything if Johnny threatens to move out. He's like, you know what? I'm going to just leave and find someplace else. He might just find out that the rent stays the same. I don't know.
I don't know that Johnny's that forward thinking. Like, he's not that type of guy that's going to be haggling with his landlord.
Nah, you never know. By the end of the next episode, he might be, but we'll get there when we get there. You had to love Kreese out there telling the kids like BS war stories, and then Miguel just starts calling them out on the details. Like, hey, that's in a whole different country. Like, Kreese just looks at him like, oh yeah, it all just runs together when you're in the set. It's like, what, mother? You literally just got caught lying. Miguel can sniff that out a mile away. So sorry parents aren't allowed to stay, and he's all, you look a little old. This class is for teenagers. And he gets all quiet. He's like, I'm not worried. I think I can take him. And then louder, he's like, I'm not afraid of kids, sir. Like, how great is this character?
Dude, Stingray is awesome. But you haven't got that far yet.
Oh, you know there has to be more because he's just too great a character to leave. Daniels always has Miyagi to keep him centered. He was always flying off the handle. Yeah, I guess so. When with Miyagi not there, he just keeps flying off the handle. Now it seems like his wife's the one who's the voice of reason. And when the wife's not around enough, just Danielson goes Danielson. This kid is crazy. He is ridiculous. But he breaks out a roll of cash, and lucky for him, his timing's impeccable since Johnny's rent just gets paid, and the old rocker dude gets to stay in class for now. He's like, we'll just call this a trial base. And yeah, it's like, this is going to be great. So time to see what you're made of, and we get introduced with Tori with a Y, and it looks like we have an all-new Allie with an I character, and it looks like the love triangle just got another point. Miguel looks a little intrigued. Something going to be going down with that, huh?
Yeah, maybe he'll try to hide the plantain.
Oh, man. How do you like how a nervous Robbie worded it when he asked, like, what's wrong? And, oh, I used to work here. When? Just a couple days last summer, and we know something's going to be up when Robbie and Danielson and Sam hit the old country club. Like, Robbie looks just a little too nervous to be walking in here, doesn't he? Or was I just into that?
Oh, yeah. Well, you know, we already seen that he uses, like, pretends he works places to, like, scam people and stuff. So
yeah, he's probably stealing somebody's car out of this place or something like that. But Aisha runs into Tori with a Y at the store and asks if she'll come with her to the beach club so she doesn't have to face Sam alone. And that seemed pretty un-Aisha to me, like being nervous to face Sam alone. She's pretty much a titan and a soldier through everything. Like, how come she's so nervous and scared all of a sudden?
I don't know. I have no idea. Like, that's her friend and they did something kind of shady to her. Like, you feel guilty about it, maybe?
Yeah, could be, I guess. But, yeah, I don't know. That just seemed like, I don't know why she's being so scared like that or acting like she's going to be worried about it. It's like, shit, come on. Can't remember. Is this your first watch through Snafu, or did you watch? He's watched it all the way through already.
Yeah.
Twice. I'm the one who's going episode by episode. I have not watched any farther than the two that we're going to be talking about tonight. Boom, 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 and you guys are already way ahead of that. Let me keep it moving. So next we have Hawk and Dimitri are on the phone, and Dimitri's conveying his very legitimate beef, and his so-called best friend is like, don't do anything stupid or you'll regret it. Like, you know what happens to snitches? He's like, yeah, they get immunity. You know, I was crying. Like his best line yet. But, I mean, isn't that kind of weird that, I mean, is it? Maybe it's not weird that Hawk's like, oh, just shut up and deal with it type of thing, even though basically Dimitri did get assaulted by a grown adult.
Yeah, but I think from Hawk's perspective, it like improved him. But it's one of those different strokes for different folks kind of thing. Like for Hawk, it was very beneficial for him to like not be able to dwell on who he is anymore. Like to change who he is. It's like, yeah, this thing's about me sucks, but I can't change that. So I'm going to have to deal with people making fun of me about it, or I can change everything else. And then that seems like way different thing. So he's like, yeah, it's a painful situation. And it was like rough to go through. You know, Hawk getting bullied by an adult doesn't seem, you know, it doesn't seem great. But he grew from it. So his perspective, and that's how we all do life, is like, from our perspective, that makes sense. Like he grew from it. So a little pain now to improve you later isn't so bad.
So basically, shut up and deal with it.
Yep.
But Miguel's not down with it, and he confronts Johnny about Kreese, and Johnny just kind of blows it off. But we can kind of see that Johnny knows if Miguel's concerned about it, then more than likely it's a problem.
Right, since he's the adult in this situation.
Which is, yeah, the weird thing, but that is true. But back to the beach club, and how creepy was Daniel? Like, he is such a car salesman. Like, when he was acting like it was just pleasant conversation, and then again, the guy's like, why? What is it you're into? And it just kind of made my skin crawl when Daniel just kind of got that glint in his eye, and he's like, funny you should ask. I was like, you are such a just creepy car salesman.
Yep.
Oh, he's just, Danielson is just too much sometimes.
All the time.
Yeah, all the time. But Sam spots Aisha and is conflicted about clearing the air with her, and Robbie thinks that she should do it, but Sam's like, who knows, maybe I'll come back with a new Miyagi-Do student, and I mean, that's pretty brass of her to think that she's going to get Aisha to like leave her dojo and come hang out with her. Like, that's pretty ballsy, isn't it?
Yeah, but you always think like your way's the right way, right? That's the big problem in this whole show. Most of the conflict comes from like you not realizing that different people need different things. Like not everybody needs the same thing. Like I don't need a step stool in my house, but my wife does. So, you know,
but she should know. I mean, from the karate aspect alone, I mean, just leaving a sensei like it's nothing. Like, hey, you know, you guys are bad. You should come with us because you guys are like, whoa, we're not bad. What are you talking about? Like, and dude, yeah, we're going to talk about it here in a minute. But the Mama-san was unbelievable. But so for the time being, Sam and Aisha make up, and Aisha says, you know, we're all thinking, you know, kind of like what we're all thinking, like. Is it really just you and Abs all summer? And I mean, you and Jake had made mention last week that you would not be having it if that was your daughter.
Hell no, never.
It's like, dude, this little pretty boy is not going to be coming and living with my same age daughter. Are you kidding me? Like, no. It's like that is not realistic in any way, shape, or form. And Daniel can't be that ignorant or naive. I don't know. But next we got Mama-san that comes to the rescue, and Robbie's about to get kicked out of the club, and then we start to kind of get the picture filled in on why Robbie was so nervous to go in there in the first place. Like, this dude's pretty adamant about wanting him out of there.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And he deserved it.
and he acts like, yep, I was in the wrong. I did deserve it. But back to Cobra Kai, and Johnny has Kreese he overhears Kreese arguing with somebody on the phone, and I like how Kreese tries to act like he's staying at the Taj Mahal or something, like Johnny's actually going to believe that. It's like, look at you, dude. Nobody believes you're staying at, like, the Four Seasons. Come on. Like, Kreese should be smarter than that. Like, is he really this dumb, or is it all just one big long con? Like, that's what I can't get over.
We know from the Karate Kid movies he's a pretty good con man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, it just seems like this could all be one long con. But I don't know. How great was the salty mom scene? Like, that's what I was getting ready to talk about earlier. Like, did I hear you boys talking about karate? And she just dumps all over Daniel's presentation. Like, that was beautiful. I love that. Like, how great was that? He's just trying to get it and everything he tries to say, and she just, like, dumps on it. Like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever for my Aisha. And
yeah.
Everything. And, oh, dude, come on. Like, tell me you weren't just gloating through that scene.
Oh, I was so happy about it. I was like, yes, Cobra Kai.
Well, because, I mean, one, she has to know about the rivalry, like the tournament, and then, you know, when the dad asked, like, didn't they do something special down at the Valley Festival? And the mom's like, oh, filmed it right here. Like, that means she knows that Daniel tried to do a presentation there and basically just got stomped on by Cobra Kai. And now it's happening twice to him. I mean, it's just beautiful. Beautiful. Like, she has to know what Daniel's kind of trying to do. And basically she must know that her daughter was hurt because of what Daniel put up about snake in the grass and all that stuff. And Mama-san's all in, and she's a little quiver mama. She's a Cobra Kai mama through and through. I was loving that scene. Back to the beach club, and look what I got. Looks like a Tori with a Y is a bit of a bad girl. Stealing bottles of vodka.
Hell yeah.
This girl is gonna get it. But next we see Johnny would make the worst spy ever, and this is how we kind of know Kreese is full of it. Like, any ex-special ops guy would notice, like, how bad Johnny was trying to follow him instantly. Like, there would be no thing. And like it was so bad, I was starting to think like again, like this has to be like some Long Kong by Kreese. He has to want Johnny to follow him here and see all this. And I don't know. Like I said, I think this might be some kind of Long Kong going on with Kreese. I think that might be something we find out in the end. Hey, what's up, Lindar? How you doing out there? Good to see you. Welcome back. Welcome back. Yep. Welcome back to Dojo 11.
Yeah, I'm with you like that. You have a car that's painted black and yellow and all loud and shit. What are you doing? Walk, buddy.
And just super close, too. Like, I mean, it's just, he's so obvious. It's so classic. But back out onto the beach, and Danielson runs into a fisherman that looks nothing like Mr. Miyagi, and yet Daniel's just blown away when he sees the guy face like, oh, it's not you, Mr. Miyagi, like, who's been dead for years. That scene was kind of like, what the? I don't know. That kind of blew me away. But lo and behold, the fisherman gives Danielson the exact advice he needs to hear, and now I'm sure every time Danielson finds himself in a bind, he'll basically just go bother some other man of Asian descent around Mr. Miyagi's height. So they just bestow upon him the mythical answer he so desires and yearns.
I think it was the garb, how he was dressed.
Oh, I guess I was just like, what the hell? Like, how are you just so entranced that you're like thinking that this is somehow, some way, Mr. Miyagi? Like, I don't know. I thought that was pretty funny. Exactly, Daniel on shrooms, Peter. That's where I was going. Like, what? There's just how out of it is this guy? A Kalua Kai. Cheers. Oh, everybody getting it in. But next we see Mama-san is missing her wallet, and this is why you don't steal things. Like, Tori with a Y just snagged a bottle from the club who, like, way overcharges anyway, but now she's labeled as a thief, and the first place people are going to look anytime anything goes missing. Like, that's just the reason you don't steal.
Yeah, but this is about, like, preconceptions, right? You can't take away first impressions. You can't redo first impressions. They just were there when the guy explained, hey, this kid was stealing shit before. And like Tori's the one that gets blamed. Like, sure, she stole a bottle of vodka, but they were just trying to kick what's his name out for being a thief. What?
Well, they didn't say what a thief. They didn't say what it was for, did they? They were just trying.
But he did, I think, right?
No.
I thought he explained.
He said he didn't. He wasn't always this person or wasn't a good person, but he never said like he stole. Because she had to ask him. She's like, "Did you hurt anybody?" And he's like, "No, nothing like that." And then she's like, "Well, then we all make mistakes and deserve a second chance, right?" So he never said exactly what it was.
Okay, but I would immediately assume it was him. Like, I don't know, maybe not from her, but you should assume that he knows something about it. I don't know. Nothing violent. What other stuff do you get kicked out for? I mean,
yeah, that's kind of one of the first. Like I said, the first thing I thought that he did was I thought like he tried to act like a valet and stole a car or something major, but it seems like it wasn't quite that big a deal. That big, but yeah, I mean, I get it. He would be one of the first people up there. But yeah, he never admitted to being a thief, and she knows for a fact that girl was the thief. And she loves Robbie and doesn't think Robbie would do anything like that. So she's never going to accuse him of something like that.
Just saying.
Stealing? I literally just watched it, and I don't think he said that. He just said I wasn't always the person. I wasn't always a good person or this same person. And she had to ask. She's like, you didn't hurt anybody. And he's like, no, nothing like that. And then I'm just saying he never admitted like he was a thief or stole anything.
Yeah, I'm just saying. All I'm saying is you don't ask like, well, what'd you do to get kicked out? Like, it could have been almost as bad as, hurting someone.
It seems like she just wanted to make sure. Like, did you hurt anybody? And like, no, it wasn't physical. You didn't like physically hurt anybody. Then everything else can be forgiven, type of thing.
Really? Like, what if he was stealing people's family's jewelry? Like, my great grandma, came over. She survived the Titanic, and this is her ring from that shit, and he just stole it. That might be something to talk about. I could think of 100 different things where you would want to know what this kid that's staying at your house with your daughter did. Oh,
yeah, absolutely. She should be one. But again, I think she likes looking at thinks she likes looking at golden abs all summer too. So she's like, yeah, we'll deal with it. Nothing wrong with this. Little pretty boy hanging around the house. I'm down. But Jay Cruz has it right. This show is all misunderstandings, and there's so many things that could be worked out and like so easily if you just said an extra sentence like, hey, what happened there? Like, show me exactly, or tell me exactly, or what exactly happened? Because there's just too many broad strokes that it all gets painted into the just old school rivalry and just keeps the flames lit and torched bright and hard. But Robbie seems to have the other ideas, and he kind of seems to know what's up, and he heads down to the beach, and I don't know. I like how one little push, and Sam was like instantly wearing the entire buffet. I'm like, there's no way she would have that much food on her just from one little push into a table.
In the 80s, that's what happened when you fell into a buffet table.
Oh, man. Oh, yep. I just watched it basically twice today just to get this outline in. But so Robbie seems to know right where to go, and I like how he always knows to get the situation recorded. Like, it saved him from those two losers last time, and I guess he just figures that getting it on tape will do it again, or maybe it's just because he's still like so diehard like he was last episode about getting a video to go viral.
Maybe.
But he seems to be pretty hot on the trail and making sure he has everything recorded and doing things on camera. Or was he planning on, like I said, making that viral video and just trying to use that to help get recruitments for Miyagi-Do? Like, he's been trying to do that all last episode. So I think maybe he was trying to like go whoop somebody's ass and like beat all three, beat both of them again by himself, and then have a video go viral for Miyagi-Do to kind of help get students. I kind of think.
Yeah, I think that too.
That's what happened. But as smart as Robbie is, we see that he's not that great at math because he forgot that this was a 3-man job and just takes a whack to the back of the noggin. It was like, you forgot this was a 3-man job. That was pretty clean. I mean, come on, Robbie's pretty smart. I can't believe he didn't think about something like that. But back to the world's worst stalker, and Johnny sees the truth of Kreese's existence, and he's just a little in awe, and they flash out of that real quick. And over to Robbie, about to get cut up, and in flies Danny Superfly Snookum, and he knocks the knife away and kicks the crap out of all 3 guys. And just as luck would have it, he did it all perfectly right in frame on Robbie's camera.
Yeah, I thought that too. Also, like, this is a scene where I thought, his karate's getting a little better form, but it's still not there. Like, Robbie still looks like he could kick the shit out of Daniel. Like, if you just looked at him.
In real life, you're probably good.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
like, there's a kick in this scene. Like, most of it's all right, but there's a kick in this scene where I was like, who's getting hit by that? That looks like me in the mirror when I'm just dicking around. Like,
oh, man. Yeah, I love it. Oh, Johnny don't want none of that smoke. Oh, so how lame was Danielson's departing words? Your grandpa, or like when the guy's like, let's go, grandpa, and then Daniel's departing words, your grandpa know how to move like that? Huh? I was like, it was just such a daddyism. I was like, come on, Danny. This is too much. You had it, you were rolling, and then you just went terrible again.
Just be the silent warrior. Come on,
right?
man.
That's all we need. That's all we need. So Johnny confronts Kreese and finds out that it was all a lie, and Johnny seems to forgive it all pretty quick and just says it's going to be my way now. And I just don't get the feeling that this has a happy ending or even really a happy beginning. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's going to go south pretty quick for Johnny and Kreese.
Everything moves fast in this show, so if it does go south, you'll know in a matter of episodes. So, I mean, like I said, since it's all due to misunderstandings, it all goes so quick, like everything.
Yeah, this thing, it is rapid fire, which you gotta love. The ADD in me appreciates it, but some of it's like, what? Wait a minute, that needs a little filler.
Yeah, what happened here?
Yeah, right. Back to Miyagi-Do, and I was right. Danielson's fight was all perfectly captured in frame, but nay, Danny Boy has come to the realization that, it's not to seek out students. For when the time is right, they will find him. And enter stage left, right on time. Hey, it's Dimitri, and who didn't see this coming? And I must say, he entered with a much better attitude this time around, coming in with a little less demands. And it would seem like with his short time with Kreese, he actually did learn a thing or two.
Exactly. What if he would have went over to the other one? I mean, Daniel probably still would have taken him in, but the attitude was totally different. Like if he would have went into Cobra Kai with that attitude, he probably wouldn't have got the shit kicked out of him.
Oh,
he might still have, but we don't know.
Oh, man. I mean, it wasn't for nothing. He definitely learned a little something. And, look at how much better an attitude he came into the second time around. So last but not least, we're back at Cobra Kai, and one student seems particularly excited every time Kreese speaks. And like a schoolgirl meeting her teen idol, I don't know, this Hawk and Kreese thing is definitely going to become a thing before the end. That just has to happen, right?
Yeah, when you take something too far. Yeah, I mean, you're probably right.
It feels like it to me. It feels like, I don't know. Like I said from the beginning, I think they're going to break off, and Kreese is going to have his own dojo, whether he retakes Cobra Kai or not. He's going to have his own dojo, and I believe his star pupil is going to be the Hawk. Johnny's already got his star pupil. Hawk knows he'll never overtake that or beat him, so why not go with Kreese and just learn how to fight even dirtier?
Hell yeah.
Oh, and that pretty much knocks it out for episode 4, and then it just rolls right into season 2, episode 5, and the name of this one is All In. And it opens with Eli's mom on the phone with the school complaining about her son getting bullied, and here we see just how broken and angry a young Hawk really is. He's always had this attitude. He's never been a little meek. This little kid has some anger issues.
Yeah, well, he's been meek because there was nothing he could do about it, right? It's finally about well, you got to figure this is right before he joins Cobra Kai too, right? So she just called. They had the meeting at school, and then he joins Cobra Kai after that. So, right. I think that I don't know. It was a good catalyst.
I mean, he's going to be angry. He's going to be, he's calling himself a loser. He gets picked on and punked out at school all the time. So, I get it. Absolutely. And this is also most likely why he's such an ass now. He just seems to be on a 24-hour revenge tour at this point.
Yeah, and it's he felt like he was worse off than anybody. Even Dimitri, he's nerdy as shit, but so was Hawk. And Hawk had a fucked up face that everybody could see immediately. And if Hawk figures if I can get past it and all the pain that I had, then anybody can. If I can pick myself up, everybody can pick themselves up.
Absolutely. But everybody goes at their own pace, which we're going to find out later. And how naive was the mom thinking she just resolved anything? Little Hawk knows exactly the damage she's just done. And we saw it come to fruition in season 1 when all the kids just stared at him and instantly knew it was him. That would be the most brutal ever. It was terrible. Oh, it's like Christine. Ooh, going back. Yeah, just awful. Kids being awful. Bullied by the boys' game's power. It does. And sometimes it just makes you stronger. Most weak people handle power poorly, that's for sure, because once they get it, they don't know what to do with it. Absolutely. Linda agrees.
Yep. That's why I hide my superpowers because I just don't know what to do with them. Just too weak. Can't handle it.
So what does it say that Hawk made mention that he'd never have any other friends other than Dimitri? Does that show that he never even really liked Dimitri? He just had no other choice? Because he's been pretty hard on him ever since joining Cobra Kai.
Yeah. I always felt like it was you want your friend to grow, but then that pushing them towards trying to grow then can become true animosity. Right. If that makes sense.
If he doesn't get to what you're trying to push him to, yeah. If he never achieves the goal, then you just kind of give up on him. Like, man, you're just worthless. Like, yeah, I can see that. So we then pan out from a crying, nerdy Eli to a shirtless, tatted Hawk, and things have definitely changed. He's got a girl, and now other kids are looking up to him, and I don't know, have things really changed for the better? It seems like they have at this point, right?
Right. Like, from his perspective.
Yeah, he flipped the script. And I like how he has like this big bold tat on his back, like of a hawk, and then he's got like this little jailhouse looking moon tat on his chest for his girl. It's like, I guess it's smart he didn't go too overboard, but I was like, oh man, that's kind of lame.
Hey, simple. It's simple. It's smart.
Yeah, exactly. It's smart because you know it's never going to last. But yeah, it was a little funny, like hard to impress, but it worked. Oh, the whole fence. And you got to love how Dimitri like just seems to be able to see the big picture, but it seems to hurt him more than help him. Like he just looked and instantly knew that the fence was roughly 1,200 feet. And like he saw right away what it was for and how it would help with muscle memory and everything. But he would just rather skip all that and skip all the training part and just be given the knowledge. It's like, this kid's like just too smart for his own good, kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Like, I thought the same thing. I'm like, oh, he has, like, all this ability. It's just, you know, when you think you're good enough to skip things, you miss out.
I mean, some people are boots on the ground. Some people are people in the think tank. And we definitely know or are saying which one this kid is. Like, can't I just use a roller? It's like Dimitri just does not seem cut out for this. Like,
yeah. It's a personality thing, right? Like you have to learn the work, and he thinks he's smart enough not have to work. In high school, I was kind of the same way. Like I did zero homework, and I passed with C's just by like outscoring my test. Like 100% on test, I didn't need to do homework. Then I make it into the real world, and guess what? You have to do freaking work. It sucks.
Yeah, you got to do the paperwork.
And so I can kind of, you know.
And that's what I mean. He's lazy. He's too smart for his own good. Like he sees the end game, but he doesn't want to, he doesn't want to do what it takes to get there.
Yep.
But yeah, I agree. Dimitri is an ass kicker. I absolutely agree. Better for Hawk, but not for the world. Yeah. But then, of course, they showed Dimitri like seemingly starting to get it, but then he's like, "My arms are tired. I've been having to pee before I started." Like, I'm pretty sure any other sensei other than Danielson would have already given up on this kid.
Oh, for sure.
Over to Cobra Kai, and Johnny and Kreese are teaching a valuable lesson, and nobody wins by doing nothing. You go all in, and the kids seem totally into this one. And then Johnny and Kreese have an after-class beer, and Kreese tells Johnny again that it's not right that his son's not here, but at another dojo learning, and it seems to really be affecting Johnny. Johnny seems to be listening to that and not liking it.
Yeah. I think Johnny's becoming more self-aware. Like he realizes, just like how he told Miguel about like him failing as a father. He doesn't feel like he has a right to that. Like he just wants what's best for Robbie at this point. And if that's Daniel, like that shows how Johnny's the better person. If what was better for Sam was to go to Cobra Kai, Daniel would never let that happen. Daniel wouldn't. There's no way.
Right.
But
yeah, he'd do everything he had to, like just to stop it. Which is, kind of what he's trying to do to stop the entire thing now, anyway. And I agree with Cruz says Dimitri is lazy. Do some push-ups. You can be smart and strong. And I'm like, that's what I was saying. Like, even if it doesn't come to the actual physical part of it, like if anybody needs some karate, it's this kid Dimitri. Like, just the entire essence of just learning balance and being, you can't just have everything given to you, and you got to kind of, work the balance part of life. He definitely needs karate in his life.
He needs a machete in his life. I just carry that around.
Something. But over to the snake pit, and the Quiver's getting acquainted with the new girl, Tori with a Y, and it looks like she's fitting in quite nicely. And one of the new recruits shows Hawk a not-so-nice Yelp review about the dojo, and Hawk is enraged, and this is going to be a problem.
Yep.
back at Miyagi-Do, and as if we needed it, like Dimitri just every scene he's in just has to remind us of literally just how big a nerd he is. Like over the top, out of control. Just yes, I am a nerd with zero uh, balance or zero like athleticism. Like I don't know. It's like we get
I
it.
think that we get it. And like they're building, but shit, we get it. He's nerdy. Stop. I don't give a shit about Dimitri. Like honestly, I could not care less about what happens to Dimitri.
His agent must have bitched about him not having a big enough role or something and wanted to slide him in, or him and Danielson are buddies in real life and he wanted to give him a bigger part. He hasn't been doing enough. But I think he might actually be one of the bigger actors out of the kids. I think he has actually done some other stuff. But yeah, we get it. He's a nerd. Move on.
But as far as like Hawk being pissed about the Yelp review, like that, you have to understand Hawk's perspective. Like that's the big thing is people really, if something helped them, then people really are protective of it. Like, think about like CrossFit or something. People really love CrossFit because I'm sure it helps a lot of people. And they are very defensive of it, just like different diets and all kinds. That's how multi-level marketing things work. And like people are so willing to defend the things that that help them get somewhere. And so that's where Hawk is. It's now like a part of the foundation of who he is. And his best friend, talks shit about it. Like it's saying, hey, this is a bullshit place. So
a best friend that he has like zero respect for. Like, who are you to talk shit about my place that like changed my whole life around and made me who I am? Like, who are you? So yeah, that's a double stinger. But Jake's got it right. I'd rather you told on me to Yelp than the cops. And I mean, the fact that Johnny's the fact that Cobra Kai has these grown ass men beating on people and basically with zero repercussions is amazing. We're going to talk more about that later, but it's just awesome. Oh, Dimitri has decent comedic timing. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think he's I think he's actually been an actor for a lot longer than some of these other kids. I think he's actually the real deal. Maybe that's why we hate him so much. He's perfect at his job.
Exactly.
I mean, how great was that when he pulled out the note from his mom about not doing any strenuous arm or leg movement? That was priceless. Oh, I was like, dude, this guy, you got to be kidding me. He's like, so if there was any alternative lesson I could do, maybe a workbook. I was like, this is not looking like this Dimitri and karate are going to be a good fit.
I just like him. I want him and Daniel's son to just like have a little road trip together and maybe slip on a banana peel off this cliff. I don't know. I don't like either one of them.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Oh man, what does he say? Hey, what's up, Iron Throne? Good to see you. Good to see you. Just saying hi. Still in season 1. Oh man, get it in. It's amazing. We're trying to keep it up. We missed a week, so we're doubling up this week, but we have it timed out, so it's going to go right into when we do our last one of this. It'll be a week, and then we'll go right into season 3. So try to get it timed out just that way. But good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah, you stay on it because it keeps getting better and better. I'll tell you that. But next we see Kreese's words got through to Johnny, and he's going to try again to reconcile with Robbie. But when he gets to Robbie's apartment, he sees an eviction notice on the door. And, like, that's got to be an uncomfortable feeling.
Right?
Like, dude, where's my son? And then he tries to call the mom, and, of course, no answer. It's like, dude, what is this? Now what? So, yeah, Johnny's on a mission now. But over to the mall, and Sam and Robbie are really starting to bond. And, of course, Dimitri and in comes Dimitri, and they're really like leaning into making sure we understand just how big a nerd this kid really is. And I'm like, dude, can I either I don't know, can we just get off this? Can I get either one of you guys anything from the comic book store? We get it. He's a nerd. All right, let's go. We're back to the snake pit, and Tori with a Y seems overly interested in our boy Miguel, and she is none too happy to find out that Sam is his ex. This is going to be a problem.
Yep. And that's a legit one. I guess it started with a misunderstanding. But man, when you dislike someone because they used to date your boyfriend, that's something serious when you're a teenager.
Oh yeah, what's going on? And Miguel, I mean, he'd really hooked some stuff up. Like that was tight. And I was just like, Miguel asked for the girl's opinion and shows him the little love file he made. But the problem is, he was blind to see he was asking the wrong girl, because Tori with a Y seems to know exactly what she wants. And I'm starting to think like maybe she even saw him at Valley Fest and was like, "Yep, I want him."
Hey, I am.
You know what I mean? She said she was there and she saw that whole thing go down. She might have saw the last man standing and went like, that guy's a stud. I want to see more about what this Miguel cat's all about.
Show me that plantain, boy.
Right? So when Tori with the Y said you need to have a little fun and I know just the place, didn't you think she was going to take him to golf and stuff?
Yeah.
Dude, I totally thought that's where they're going to end up. I was like, come on, Allie with an eye. Nope. But we see Johnny's still on the hunt for Robbie, and I love how like that salesman was saying like all the things we were thinking. Like, this isn't a dojo. This is the real world. You don't just throw people around. This is a place of business. And we see how much Johnny just cares as he just lays one into his ribs. Like, dude, tell me you just don't want to do that to some people sometimes. Like, that's so amazing. I was kind of like, yes, but I was kind of like, that's ridiculous. Like that, this is the real world. You can't just go around beating people up because they're not doing what you want. Like, I don't know. I love that scene. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean,
Dude, he just walks in.
I really want to hit somebody.
The dude up on the car, like,
dude, I wish I could hit people all the time. Society sucks because we can't hit each other. It's like Mike Tyson said: the internet has convinced people like there's no repercussions to, talking shit because no one's there to punch you in the face when you do.
Right.
When Johnny's there, boy, you're gonna catch a fade.
You better ask somebody. There's definitely going to be somebody there to punch you in the face. Yeah, I thought it was amazing though. It's like, and the best part was like everybody's just standing around acting like they don't see it. So he must be such a creep that like everybody at work is just glad to see this guy absolutely get himself handed. Yeah, that whole scene was pretty awesome. Like everybody was acting like Johnny's just handling this fool on the showroom floor, and none of the employees are acting like they even see a thing. Like I thought that was amazing. But it seems like Hawk knew exactly where Dimitri would be today and ambushes him at the comic book store. So he tells basically Dimitri to take down the Yelp review, and Dimitri's not having it. He doesn't want to hurt his Yelp elite status, and he doesn't want to hurt his his journalistic integrity. It's like, what is this kid thinking?
I hate this episode like so much because everything we're going to talk about coming up. One, my boy Hawk just turns into a bully, takes it too far. And then, I'll wait, but man, why are you cornering him? I get it. You get defensive of your stuff, but also, from Dimitri, like, why can't you just do your friend a solid and be like, hey, my Yelp review, I'll make it a 3-star and be like, this is not for everybody. It helped my friend out, but it wasn't for me.
Because he got punched in the face by a grown adult and he wants his revenge. That's why he put it up.
Well, then that's why Hawk's coming to kick your ass.
I mean, he dug in. He didn't just say how bad that was. He said it was shitty. It needs it needs a makeover. Like, he dug in deep. Like, he went all down on it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think he was going to be doing anybody any solids, but he's not doing himself any favors, I'll tell you that. Hawk pushes him down, and Dimitri actually tries to, like, buck up. He's like, that doesn't work out too well for him. And that's why we all have, like, that fight or flight gene buried deep within us, because sometimes it's just better to run, which Dimitri does, and that seems to be, like, one of the physical things he can actually do, because he was out.
For real. It's fun fact, it's a 3-way response. Fight, flight, or freeze. So
That's true. That's true. Some people are just a deer in headlights and just stop. Just absolutely zero survival skills.
That's my daughter. Like you ask her to do something like with any kind of urgency, she's like,
like it's processing. It's processing.
I'm like, what are you doing?
Make a move. Make a move. You go all in. Oh, it's so awesome. But through all this, it looks like one of the new recruits isn't really digging like being part of the Asshole Twins, and he seems like he's not enjoying being part of this quiver at all. Like he seems like he's had just about enough of the Cobra Kai way.
Yeah, well, the Kreese Cobra Kai way. I feel like everybody could enjoy Johnny's way of Cobra Kai. I mean, not everybody, but most people would be like, hey, I get it. It's about not being a pussy. And
he doesn't really seem to be enjoying it too much anymore.
Yeah, because he's evolved past that. He's influenced by Kreese too much, I think.
I mean, instantly, yeah. It's like his little teen idol. But you had to love how mall security was just on lunch break with the earbuds in and couldn't be bothered as like the whole quiver's just chasing this kid through the mall. I was like, that's crazy. So the quiver surrounds Dimitri in the food court, and I'm like, here comes Robbie to the rescue probably. But no, it was actually Sam who got there first. I was like, should have known, but that was cool.
On a side note, while we're here, how happy with yourself were you when you were writing this outline and you wrote down quiver about 10 times? You were so excited. I know you were smiling when you're like, yeah, I'm going to call him a quiver.
Oh, dude, every time, dude, yeah. All the stupid little intensities, like all the little words and like shit that they use and they say, I try to get all that stuff in.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt, but I had to. Awesome. You said it like 3 times in a row.
Half the people are like, why does he keep saying quiver? Why does he keep saying quiver? And then like, oh shit, that's what they call the cobras, like the pack of cobras. And you don't even know that unless you actually read like that title of that episode. Like right when it very first starts, it's like a quiver and gives you like what it is. And then that's the only time you even know about it. So in case you like, if you didn't see that or read it, you won't even know what I'm talking about. It's awesome. Yeah, I love that. But I don't want to have to Hawk's like, I don't want to have to hit a girl, but Robbie steps in and says, you wouldn't stand a chance. And Hawk just, again, shows his true colors, like not having a problem fighting 5 on 2.5. And I don't know, your boy Hawk's losing points by the second.
I know. Well, they did work on that technique to, fight off a whole group of people for episode and episode.
Oh, dude, I thought it was hilarious. Like, literally, while they were fighting, I said it out loud. I was like, oh, there's a little circle dance coming into play. My girl just at me and, like, smiles. Like, it was awesome. And then, like, literally, right after I said that, they start showing him, like, back and forth, like, through the fighting montage on that floating circle. Of course they're going to get it in. You didn't like that?
Hell no, I didn't like that. Dude, they would have got their asses kicked.
They made such a big deal about that for 3 episodes. You knew that was going to come into play. Come on.
Dude, we saw what Hawk did to that board, like flipping up in the air. Dude, why didn't they do an aerial attack to their little circle, and then he's in the middle of both of them? Now they can't be defended. Do that thing. Use your damn brain.
Oh, absolutely. That's so classic. No, it's... What can you do? What can you do? But while the fight was going on, I was like, Robbie's probably going to get like his wish out of this for Miyagi-Do to get a fight that's gone viral because there's going to be some cell phones out there and recording. It was like, and then they whipped his ass and he's like, who saved your chicken? Yeah, more like your ass. Like, are you kidding me?
Hated it.
Yeah. Do you think? Well, I guess you would know, but yeah, I don't know. It's like, is Robbie finally going to get his wish and get a Miyagi-Do commercial about them showing them, whooping the two people whooping the shit out of 5? Like, that's the viral video that they're looking for, right?
You already know that's going to happen.
It has to. I mean, come on. And I mean, basically, if you look, there would have been like 50 phones out, but there's just that one lady sitting there, so it's going to be hers. But Johnny comes home totally wasted, and Carmen's there to help him out and give him some sage advice of her own. And it's nice to see that Johnny also has a voice of reason around to help keep him straight, like Danielson does. It's like the women in this show are definitely the ones that keep him on the straight path.
Yeah, it's just, I'm telling you, it's just like real life.
Exactly.
I have no idea what's going on without my wife.
Exactly. And the two moms are like, because like literally they're the only ones smart enough to keep those two from going off the deep end. Like, and that's exactly what I wrote down. I was like, which is pretty much like mirrors real life because us men are complete idiots at times. Like they're literally like in real life, that's what happens. They're literally the ones that keep us under control. But a worried Daniel comes rushing in to check on his students after hearing what happened at the mall, and he tells Robbie he's really glad that he's part of this family. And is he though, or is it just more because he knows how much it's hurting Johnny that he's there?
I don't know. I think it's both. Sure, he probably likes him being around because he makes him look good, but he also likes that it's Johnny's son.
I don't know. Was it a good thing or a bad thing that they didn't just go super Hollywood cheese and put some slow motion shots in there? They actually did, didn't they? When Hawk went up for that big super punch, wasn't that kind of slow motion? And then Robbie just gives him that big flying kick that knocks him out cold, the one that puts Hawk down. That was kind of slow motion, wasn't it?
I think he was talking about like they can't do the slow motion dance. Like the dance all in slow motion. How are they defending each other? This is a real ass fight. You have to,
because it's Miyagi-Do.
Miyagi-Do sucks.
Hey man, it's all about protection and defense.
I don't like that. You know what best defense is? More offense.
That's right, Johnny. Oh, but Daniel then sees his new student down and dejected and steps over to try to pick him up a bit. And we get a GOT reference, which was pretty spot on. Like, he is definitely the Sam Tarley of it all. Like, I thought that was a perfect comparison.
I don't know about all that, but maybe. Sam's way cooler than Dimitri.
That's true. But in this situation about the other two being Jon Snow and Daenerys and him being the Sam Tarley, like, where he was going with it, I definitely got it. I liked it. But, of course, Danielson had to kill it with a dadism. Like, you watch Game of Thrones? Oh, I am so down with GOT. Like, again, he just I'm like, are you kidding me with this guy? He's killing me. Back at the Cobra Kai dojo, and Moon has had enough. She's not going to date a bully. And then Hawk loses his girl. And I'm thinking, like, this could have had a happier ending if she would have just shared some of her mom's diet organic weed. Like,
yeah. You need to chill, bud.
Right? Could have totally just mellowed the Hawkman out and wouldn't have had any of these problems. But live and learn, live and learn. So Hawk goes in to punch out some of that rage on a heavy bag, and just when we knew it was coming, of course, Kreese is there to give him some terrible advice. That's going to be a problem. That is going to be a problem. But back to Carmen and Johnny's starting to sober up and hearing the voice of reason, and she is definitely giving him much better advice than Kreese did. Like, we know that's going to come into play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So out to the fun place, and wait a minute, it's not the golf and stuff. Tori with a Y has brought Miguel to a park. And there was a quick line that kind of raised an eyebrow with me when Miguel says, "You're insane," and Tori with a Y replied, "Yeah, I've heard that before." It's like, do we have a new crazy girl in the mix?
Of course she's a crazy girl. Like, you can't spot a crazy girl? Come on.
I mean, they tried to slide that one in on the quick and, on the down low, just one of those, under breath words like, yeah, I've heard that before, and then just moved on to the next line. I was like, wait a minute. That's going to mean something. That's standing for something right there.
Yeah, she is crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be an issue. And some other things that she said, like when you said you had someplace fun to go, I thought I'd need a fake ID. And she was like instantly like, oh, if you want to do that, we totally can. My girlfriend works down at the bar. I was like, wait a minute, what? What are you doing with girlfriends old enough to like be bartenders down at the bar? Like, what's going on with this girl? Like, where did she really come from?
I don't know, but she's pretty awesome. I like her better than Sam.
And she knows karate pretty good. I just thought of something just now. What if that is Kreese's daughter and this is all part of the long game? What if this was all part of Kreese's long game? He knew Miguel was the star student of Johnny. He wants to take Cobra Kai back over because he figures it's his. And the best way to do it is take down Johnny and the star student. And who better to do that than his own daughter that he's taught karate to? What? Oh, that'd be sick. If I just thought that, that'd be so dope. Oh, Jake Cruz has got it right, though. Everything about her seemed crazy. That's real. That is absolutely real. But yeah, Miguel's trying to figure out what Sensei meant about making a move and going all in, and Tori with a Y is more than willing to help him figure it all out. It's like, oh, we saw this coming, didn't we?
Yep.
Like Miguel, like, oh, he's the champion. He's got all the little hotties after him. Just love struck. His old girlfriend won't have anything to do with him. This girl's all over him. What is a young teenage boy to do? And then over to the LaRusso household, and it seems like old Sam and Robbie are in a similar situation. But Robbie seems to know which side of the toast is buttered, and he's not trying to mess things up in his new paradise. It's
exactly.
Like, and regardless of what happens, let's never forget that Sam was absolutely ready and willing to smooch it up with old Robbie. So just because they didn't and Miguel did, I call it pretty much the same.
Yeah, basically.
I mean, they're basically on the same path, or if she gets mad at him for whatever, she was literally ready to do the same exact thing. So I don't think she has a leg to stand on.
We were on a break.
Oh, Jake Cruz says, I like Sam, my favorite Miyagi. Well, yeah, obviously, Sam is the best in Miyagi-Do, even over the sensei. There's no question about that. But Sam still is, Sam can go a little Sam sometimes. And then out to Miyagi-Do, and anytime you hear a spray paint can in the dark, you know something's up to no good. And then you hear your boy Hawk, let's finish the fight. Now Hawk can only beat inanimate objects in a fight. What fight is he finishing? There's no fight. He's just like marring and disrupting and breaking property. What's that all about? That's just vandalism.
Well, I mean, some people take things too far.
Well, the adult told me to do it. It's like, come on, man. I don't know. That's too much.
Well, I mean, too much. Some people take things too far, and ain't too much of anything's bad. If you drink too much water, you can get like hydro shock. I think that's what it's called, where your body can't handle all that water, and you'll die from drinking too much water. So I'm just being defensive of my boy Hawk here. Too much of that attitude, like he went too far with it.
Oh, just way too much, way too much. Danielson and the kids are devastated at the destruction, and Daniel snaps and just instantly heads off to the Cobra Kai dojo, like he's just beside himself. And he shows up and disrespects the dojo by walking on the mat with his shoes on, and Johnny is none too happy about this. And Johnny tells him, I have no idea what it is you're talking about, but Daniel's just like, yeah, right, just like you didn't come into my dealership and punch one of my employees. And that little, first of all, that smirk that Johnny gives him right there was priceless. Like, that was amazing. But second, like, how is this like the first time since he's done it that we're hearing anything about this? Like, did they really not press charges and Johnny just got away with walking into the dealership and beating on a dude?
Maybe Daniel's like, hey, you can't do this because I went over to that other guy's store and kicked the cup out of his hand. He could press charges on me. And he didn't do that, so maybe you shouldn't press charges on Johnny for beating you up.
I don't know. There's a little difference about kicking a cup out of hand and slamming a dude into a cart and punching him in the ribs and yanking his arm and tweaking his shoulder. Like,
I don't know.
Nothing nice about that.
Tit for tit.
And he's like, dude, you owe me for my shoes. You know what you did to my Oxfords? Like, he stepped in it. Like, how would a dog even get up here? Like, all that was so priceless. That was amazing. But you don't earn the Medal of Honor by stealing it. And that seemed to kind of hit Johnny pretty hard. Like, that made him start looking around. And, I mean, shouldn't even Kreese be a little disgusted by that one, being a so-called ex-vet?
I don't think he's, that kind of guy. Like, some people, I don't know. I don't think
Stealing
so.
a Medal of Honor that a fallen brother or that a soldier has gotten. I don't know. That seems like the epitome of ruthlessness to me.
Oh, he's a ruthless guy. Maybe he fakes like everything. You don't know.
That's true. That's true. It could all be a lie. And it seems like Danielson knew exactly what he was doing because he ended up taking half the Cobras with him when he left. And it seems like half of them, like, they didn't like the fact that Daniel wouldn't strike first. And I don't know, that Chris guy never did like it there. So that's kind of a trip. Johnny just got an eye opener. And, now what's going to happen? He literally just lost. He's paying more rent and just lost half his students. And what's going to happen to Cobra Kai?
I don't know.
So only time will tell. So I left it on kind of a cliffhanger. I got to tell you, I'm a little excited to get into the next episode and see what happens next. Oh, man. So, yeah, I'm definitely loving it. You said you didn't like this episode, though. This one wasn't your favorite? Like, what was it about it that bugged you so much?
I hate Miyagi, though. Dude, I like Cobra Kai. I like Johnny as a person. Like, sure, he makes mistakes, but it's like, his mistakes all have bad results. And, Daniel's mistakes end up working out for him. I don't like that. Daniel can hate freaking Johnny and blame him for everything and, get his revenge left and right. And it always works out for him. I don't like that. I don't. But when his Johnny, like, makes a mistake, brings Kreese around, and that, like, messes up Hawk. Hawk goes too hard in the paint and then like becomes a worse person. And that's Johnny's fault for bringing him around. I do not like it. I don't like Miyagi though. Mr. Miyagi's great. Daniel sucks. Like, I don't like him. So whenever they do well, I'm not going to like that. You already know I'm not going to like those episodes. Anything good happens with Miyagi-Do, I'm not going to like it. Just know that.
Well, Jake likes Johnny and Miguel, and the rest not so much. I'm kind of all in on Tori with a Y so much. I mean, so far. I like Tori with a Y. Like, she's killing it. She doesn't have to go to any place fancy. She just takes him to, like, this dark park to hang out, and she knows exactly the time that the plane goes over that spot, which means she's laid out there in the dark by herself, or maybe not by herself, many a time to have that pinpointed to, like, the exact minute. Like, that's spending some time in an area to notice like something like that down to the second.
Yeah. How about this? She takes him on a date to go see a plane. You remember what Miguel's original date was going to be for Sam?
To go out and stare at the stars.
That's right. So she's better for him than Sam, but
there's just
she's
more.
Also crazy. Maybe she's stalking him. We don't. That might be it. I don't know.
Like I said, I think she saw him at the Valley Fest and was like, "Hey, I like that guy. I'm going all in, and I'm gonna get there." And we don't. I mean, why? She seems to be their age. Why haven't they seen her at school? Why don't they know her? Why is she new? Like, where is she from?
Why do new people have like? I don't know. I mean, what kind of paranoid universe are you living in? Like the new kid, you're like, fuck them. They could be Kreese's daughter.
Yeah. Where does she come from? Why don't they know her from school? Why isn't she hanging out there? Why is it just at this karate and hanging out in parks by herself at night?
I don't know. Yeah, but if she came in with Kreese, why does she know, like, exactly? She would have to be out there a lot.
I don't know. This could be some let me in shit. Maybe she's a vampire. I don't know. Time will tell, and we will be back on next Tuesday. On next Tuesday, we're going to drop it back down to just one episode. So again, like I said, we're trying to time it right on into the season 3 so we can hit it just perfect. So we caught back up with this week, and yeah, next Tuesday we'll be back on just for the one episode at a time and try to keep it moving right on through. So any last thoughts about Cobra Kai?
Cobra Kai way better than Miyagi though.
Absolutely. Oh, and what about the boys? You gonna be about ready to start hitting the boys up?
Oh yeah.
You think it's gonna be on Wednesdays or different? What days were you kind of thinking?
Whatever day. Just not Thursday.
All right. Well, yeah, we might be, keep your eyes out. We might be popping right back on here tomorrow, and we might be firing up the boys and getting it started. Got everything ready to go with it. So, yeah, if you got some time, maybe we'll just pop on and knock out a boys episode and start running that one, because we finally got Andy into watching the boys, and anybody who's not watching that, get on it, because that is one of the greatest series of all time. That is probably the #1 first 6 minutes ever created in television.
It's so great. It's so great. Hey, I don't know that it's for everybody. My wife was like, "What the hell?" And I was like, "This is the greatest show I've ever seen." It's like a few minutes in the show. It was amazing.
Oh, get on it, Jake Cruz. Try to find some Prime Video and see if you can't get in episode 1 by tomorrow night, because I think we're going to fire it up. And it is an absolutely, like I said, the greatest first 6 minutes in television ever created.
Dude, just watch that. Even if you're like can't convince yourself to watch the show, or like the whole show, just be like, all right, I want to see what this first 6 minutes is about, and just do that.
6 minutes, that's all you need. You'll be hook, line, and sinker, I guarantee it. You'll be like, what the hell is this shit? Oh, Peter Griffin, no spoiler alerts, but yeah, it's awesome. It's absolutely amazing. You guys got to check it out. So yeah, we might be right back on tomorrow night at about 6:30, 7 o'clock, so keep your eyes peeled. Other than that, we will be back on this Saturday for the fantasy football, and back next Tuesday with some more karate, Cobra Kai style. So you guys be easy, have an amazing rest of the week, and until we see you next time, be easy.